Unlock the door. Unlock that door. Barriers to movement make the world poorer. Only voters can remove them. Voters could make the world twice as much, twice as rich. Why don't they? How to make immigration more palatable in rich democracies. Imagine you are offered a job at triple your salary. But first you must go through the door. You must pass through a locked door, and someone with the key won't open it. You might be willing to pay them to let them through, to let you through. Whether this is fair or not is beside the point. They have the key and you don't. If you gave them a portion of the increase in your wages, you would both be better off. This is not a bad analogy for global immigration policy. When migrants move from a poor country to a rich one, they typically make 3 to 6 times as much income as before, as much money as before. If everyone who wanted to migrate were allowed to do so, the world would, by one estimate, be twice as rich. Yet this vast gain cannot be realized because most would-be migrants were forced to stay where they are. The door is locked, and voters in rich country hold the key. Is there a way to open the door? Hardly anyone is considering it. Instead, the debate in rich countries veers between fear-mongering and moralizing. Nationalists from Donald Trump, America's president, to Viktor Orban, Hungary's prime minister, portray immigrants as a threat to the culture, wages, and even lives of the native born. Pro migration liberals, by contrast, are quick to dismiss those who disagree with them as racist and mouth slogans that seem almost designed to alienate voters. Several Democrats in America talk not of reforming, but of abolishing ICE, the agency enforcing immigration laws. A more programmatic approach would be to think in terms of costs, benefits, and how they might be distributed. The biggest beneficiaries of migration are the migrants themselves, who earn far more and, in many cases, escape from oppression or sexism. Their birthplaces benefit from the money they send home and the knowledge they bring back when they return, which usually more than makes up for any brain drain. The benefits to host countries are hefty too. Skilled migrants check pulses, write codes, and help local firms do business with their homelands. Migrants are twice as likely as the native born to start a business, and 3 times as likely to patent an idea. Blue collar immigrants provide cheaper plumbing, childcare, and parcel deliveries. By one estimate, 83% of native born rich country workers benefit from immigration. Migrants may drag down the wages of native workers with similar skills, but the effect is so small that economists are not sure it exists. The biggest cost of migration is the hardest to measure. It's cultural. Many people like their societies the way they are. Some bristle when they hear foreign languages on the bus or when a mosque replaces a pub. Since migrants tend to cluster, some places change uncomfortably fast. Such feelings are inflamed by demagogues who widely exaggerate the threat from a tiny minority of migrants, especially from crime. Overcoming these objections will be hard, but not impossible if policymakers observe four principles. First, border control matters. Voters perfectly reasonably cannot abide chaos. Governments must set and enforce the rules for who comes. Second, migrants must pay their way. Most already do, but it's crucial to design policies that encourage this by making it easy for them to work and hard, at least for a while, to claim welfare benefits. Third, be creative. Australia's points-based system is often praised, not least by some Brexiteers. It favors migrants who are young, English-speaking, and have useful skills. It is quick, transparent, and welcoming. At the same time, Australia pitilessly excludes anyone who tries to enter without permission. Australians mostly support the system because they feel in charge of it. More market-based systems are also worth trying. Countries could auction visas to the well-heeled. In addition, though, for those who cannot yet afford to bid, they could allow more migrants in, but apply surtaxes to their wages for a period and transfer the money to citizens. If this is the price of entry, many migrants will choose to pay it. And if voters see an immigration dividend, they may find that new Moscow does not bother them as much. Fourth, pace matters more than absolute levels. Political resistance to migrants spikes with the sudden surges in immigration. In 2015, net immigration to Germany more than doubled to almost 1.2 million, leading to a backlash. Yet the share of the population that is foreign born is 16% compared with 29% in Australia. This shows that a country with sensible policies can be almost two times as open to migration as Germany without even a hint of the disaster that nativists predict. On the contrary, Australia has a lower homicide rate than Germany, its people live longer, and it has not had a recession since 1991. Many Australians grumble about congestion in the cities most popular with the migrants, but this is fixable with the taxes those migrants pay. If the flow is steady and orderly, and if the newcomers are encouraged to support themselves and adapt to the host culture, immigration can be higher than most rich countries allow today. Singapore is 45% foreign born and a byword for prosperous tranquility. Countries can open up incrementally with conditions and reverse course if they choose. Today, anti-migrant mood makes all this seem unlikely. Far from opening the door, many Western governments are double locking it. Yet this creates an opportunity for others to snaffle the best brains repelled by chauvinism, to lure the most enterprising migrants, and once again to become lands of opportunity.